What we learn from history is that no one learns from history. Only a fool learns from his own mistakes. The wise man learns from the mistakes of others. The great questions of the day will not be settled by means of speeches and majority decisions but by iron and blood. We live in a wondrous time in which the strong is weak because of his moral scruples and the weak grows strong because of his audacity. A generation that has taken a beating is always followed by a generation that deals one. A really great man is known by three signs: generosity in the design, humanity in the execution, moderation in success. People who love sausage and people who believe in justice should never watch either of them being made. When you want to fool the world, tell the truth. A bad plan that is well executed will yield much better results than a good plan that is poorly executed. Preventive war is like committing suicide out of fear of death. With bad laws and good civil servants it's still possible to govern. But with bad civil servants even the best laws can't help. Anyone who has ever looked into the glazed eyes of a soldier dying on the battlefield will think hard before starting a war. It is the destiny of the weak to be devoured by the strong. When a man says he approves of something in principle, it means he hasn't the slightest intention of carrying it out in practice. I have found that nothing so deceives your adversaries as telling them the truth. The nation that has the schools has the future. He who has his thumb on the purse has the power. We Germans fear God, but nothing else in the world. A conquering army on the border will not be stopped by eloquence. Laws are like medicine, they generally cure an evil by a lesser or a passing evil. You can't destroy the Polish national consciousness or Poles on the battlefield, but if you give them power, they will destroy themselves. Man cannot control the current of events. He can only float with them and steer. Be polite, write diplomatically, even in a declaration of war one observes the rules of politeness. Politics is not a science, but an art. The main thing is to make history, not to write it. A government must not waver once it has chosen its course. It must not look to the left or right but go forward. Fools you are who say you like to learn from your mistakes. I prefer to learn from the mistakes of others, and avoid the cost of my own. Faust complained about having two souls in his breast, but I harbor a whole crowd of them and they quarrel. It is like being in a republic. Love is blind, friendship tries not to notice. There is only one greater folly than that of the fool who says in his heart there is no God, and that is the folly of the people that says with its head that it does not know whether there is a God or not. Politics are not a science based on logic, they are the capacity of always choosing at each instant, in constantly changing situations, the least harmful, the most useful. All treaties between great states cease to be binding when they come in conflict with the struggle for existence. Universal suffrage is the government of a house by its nursery. The Balkans aren't worth the life of a single Pomeranian grenadier. A journalist is a person who has mistaken their calling. Whoever speaks of Europe is wrong, it is a geographical expression.